Hi friends, welcome back. For those of you who are new here, my name is Krista, and today I'm going to be sharing a few more large family tips and tricks with you. So since we are a larger than average family, I often get asked how we make things work around here. So today I thought that I would share with you, first of all, one of our favorite baby items or containing gadgets. I'm not sure. It's a baby gate that I want to share with you. One of our favorites that we absolutely can't live without. The second thing I'm going to share with you is how we are making it work with 3 kids in a room. And what we're doing to help everybody kind of have their privacy and their own personal space, especially when you have older kids and younger kids together. And the third one is also about having younger kids and older kids, and how do we make that work as far as, you know, the tiny pieces like little Legos and things like that. How do we keep babies safe with older kids in the house who have a lot of small items? So I'm going to show you and tell you how we organize those things and how we make it all work around here. So some of you watched the video last week that had Monty and I going out on date night and looking for a cabinet. And we were looking for a very specific cabinet for a very specific spot for a very specific reason. And I'm going to show you what that is right now. So we are getting ready to do foster care. And so we are going to have younger children in our home, once again, infants and toddlers, toddling around. And we have, as you can see behind me, lots of staircases in this house. There's 3 different staircases. And so we have got to gate those off. Monty and I had to go get a cabinet because we needed something for one of our gates to hook to. So I'm going to show you these baby gates that we absolutely love. So this gadget right here beside me, friends, is called a Retractable, and it's a retractable gate. Now, Monty and I are getting older, you know, and when we were young and we had little kids, we would just jump the gates, right? We would just put up gates everywhere that we needed gates, and we would just step over them all the time. Well, we're not so young anymore, and it's not so easy to step over gates, and you know, we might fall and break a hip or something. We're not quite that old, but it feels like it sometimes. But anyway, we needed to come up with a solution that we could tuck away when we didn't need to use it, and that could be up when we needed it, and that is easy to open and close. And so about 10 years ago, we got something called a Retractable for our stairway in a different house. We're actually going to use it here as well. Luckily it came with us and I didn't get rid of it yet. So, and I bought a second one to close off this little area. So as you can see, there are actually 2 stairways here, one going up and one going down. So we need to block off this area so that we don't have little ones falling down the stairs. The Retractable would attach here, but it's very difficult to attach it from here to here. So that is what we needed this cabinet for, because we needed a place to attach this gate. And so this was our date night find. It was this cabinet. Not exactly what we really wanted, but we needed something tall enough to handle those 2 brackets and narrow enough to fit in this space right here. So there you go. That was the cabinet that we were looking for in our date night video last week. So this is the Retractable, and this is how it works. It just pulls out, and it's going to cover this whole space, and I'm actually going to hook it right here on these little hooks. There's one on the top and one on the bottom. And once I hook that up, then I'm going to actually lock that gate in place, and voila. I'm going to scoot back here, and you can see we will have little ones contained in our living room area, in our big living space. So this will keep them from getting over to the stairs. So that is how we're using the Retractable. That is how we're using our cabinet that we bought on date night. I will link my Amazon affiliate link in the description down below so that you guys can click on there and see them on Amazon. You can also get them directly from Retractable. So the next question that we often get asked is, how do we split up rooms, and you know, where do we put everybody and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not going to show you the whole arrangement of where we put everyone, But I'm gonna show you this one room because we have 3 boys in this room, and the age span is from 5, the youngest is 5, the oldest is 12 that's in this room. So the question always is, how do we make this space work for everyone, for the oldest child as well as the youngest child? So this is what we're doing in this room where we have the 3 boys together. So first of all, of course, we have the bunk beds in here. And we have our littlest guy, the 5-year-old, is on the bottom, and our 7-year-old sleeps up on top. And then we also have this contraption over here. And we just got this a couple of weeks ago, and this is actually a bed tent. I didn't know they made these, but they actually make tents that go on beds. And this is a twin bed size. I think they had a full and also a queen bed size. So if you want one for yourself, there you go. But we got this twin bed tent. So right now there's a mattress on the floor, but it will also work on a bed, but it works best on a bed that has a headboard and a footboard. And actually for our 12-year-old, he did not have a headboard and footboard on his current bed, so we may be doing some shifting around to make that happen for him so that this bed tent actually can be up off the floor on the bed itself. So it would have worked, and I think we could maybe modify it to make it work on his current bed. So I'm not sure what we're going to do, but at this point we have just a mattress in there for him, and I may even double stack some mattresses, although he says this is perfect. He likes how soft it is. So anyway, this is the bed tent, and of course he's got his pillow and blankets and stuff in here. He has his fan because he gets a little warm, although there's a vent right here on the floor, so it stays fairly cool in there during the summertime. He's got his clock on the floor. I need to kind of arrange this differently. I think I'm going to put a little table back here in the corner for all his things. But this kind of gives him his personal space, and the littler boys know that this is his space. They all took turns sleeping in it at one point so that everybody got a turn, got to enjoy it, and it kind of the newness of it has worn off now. So now he sleeps in here. He does usually leave the door open, but you can shut this side as well. And both sides actually zipper. I'm going to show you that side. This side zippers as well. So you could open it up completely or you can shut it completely. And then it has a small zipper up front or in the back, wherever you want to put it, that can be open as well for airflow. So you can use it however you want. But this is kind of fun and he loves it. There is even a pocket up here, I don't know if you guys can see that, where he can drop in an iPad or a Kindle if he wants to lay in here and watch a movie and totally veg out. We haven't done that yet, but it may happen. So also we use our walk-in closets like the one behind me in this house a little bit differently. We don't need all the closet space that this house has. I know this is a great problem to have. Our old house was a house from the 1800s and we had almost 0 closet space. So we are used to working with very little closet space, and we went to a house with a ton of closet space. And so we are using those walk-in closets in very creative ways. He actually has his school desk in there and a lamp and a few things like that. There's a plug-in, so he has a little fan in there as well. And he can do his schoolwork in there. He usually opens up that door when he's doing his schoolwork. He can leave the door open or he can close it depending on what he wants to do in there. And if he wants his own personal private space, he can just close up the door and play Legos or read or whatever he wants to do in that walk-in closet. So that one we happen not to use for clothes. And so he can use that space as well. So then our 5-year-old has this shelf here, and kind of this play space is his personal play area where he plays when he plays alone. And then for our 7-year-old, we have another walk-in closet in the hallway. So this gives him his own personal space. And he often just leaves this door open when he's playing in here, which is fine, but it can also be shut and his things can all be put away. So you can tell what he likes. His main thing is Legos. And so this is his Lego table. I know I've shared the Lego closet idea before, but especially now that we are having younger kids coming into our home with the foster children that are coming, we have to be really careful again with small pieces. Now we've had this problem before because we do have such a wide age span. So our oldest daughter is 18 down to a 5-year-old is our age span that we have had. And so we have always kind of struggled with how do we keep the baby out of the tiny pieces, such as Legos and, you know, marbles and just little things everywhere. So what we have done in the past and what we are doing now is we just keep things separated. So the Legos stay in the Lego closet or in the older boy's room, and they can't leave there. And sometimes I'll even put up a baby gate to remind my 5-year-old to keep Legos or certain little toys in one area. And I say, you cannot take them out of this area. This is where you have to play with it. And so then they'll play with them in there. I will go in and make sure to do a sweep or look around at least after they've cleaned up before I take the baby gate down. The other thing is sometimes we'll set things up like in the kitchen. If they want to play with something in the kitchen, and I'll gate the kitchen area off. So the kids with the little tiny toys that drop on the floor and things like that are in kind of their own contained space. So I gate them in sometimes as well too. Of course they can jump the baby gate, but I ask them to please leave the tiny toys behind so that no little people get a hold of them and swallow them. So it's just kind of being careful about where we allow the kids to play with the tinier toys. I also keep a lot of those things put up, and I just get them down when we're gonna play with them, then we clean them up and I put them back away. And this just helps to ensure that the little kids don't get a hold of something and choke on it, because that always makes me nervous. In our old house, we kind of had floors and we didn't have the baby on the upper floor, and so the upper floor was free game. They could have all the little toys they wanted up on the upper floor and the upstairs. But on the main floor and downstairs, there were no tiny toys. That was kind of the rule. So it's kind of about setting those boundaries for where the tiny toys can be. So those are just a few of the tips and tricks that we are going to use as we have little ones back in our home once again. Thank you so much for watching today. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.